Hey guys, after about a week or so of telling y'all that I would film my first YouTube video, here it is. I've been sick and my daughter's been sick, so it's been really hard to sit down and film this video. Even though it's just a simple Q&A, you have to have time to sit down and film it. So I asked some of you guys to ask me questions, and some of y'all posted on things I post, and then some of y'all DM me questions. So I picked 20 out of all of the ones I got, and I'm going to answer them for y'all. I folded them up and put them in this mason jar so I can just pick them at random. So this one is, where are you from? I'm from Mobile, Alabama. It's at almost the most southern tip of Alabama. So what's your daughter's favorite food? She doesn't really have a favorite food, but she eats a lot. Some of the things she eats the most are like french fries and mashed potatoes. She loves bread. She's weird and likes just plain bread. So next one. Do you have any brothers or sisters? So I have 4 siblings. I have a brother who is 17. Me and him are 22 months apart, actually. I have a half sister. She is 14, I believe. I have another half sister who is 12. And then I have a half sister that I don't know, and she doesn't know me, who I believe is 12. I'm not really sure on that one. So I have 4 siblings, 3 sisters, 1 brother. Oh, I picked up 2 of them that time. What is your favorite color? Probably black. And that's coming from my inner emo kid that's still in there from when I was younger, but probably black. It goes with everything. It's the easiest to style. I guess that's it. I don't really have a reason. I just gravitate towards black. Would you change being a teen mom? This is a good one. No, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world, because then I wouldn't have my daughter. It made my life harder. It made it more challenging, definitely. But it's not something I regret, and it's not something I will ever regret, because I got a beautiful little girl out of it, and I'm about to get a second little girl out of it. So being a teen mom, it actually kind of saved me too, because I wasn't in a good place in my life when I got pregnant with our first daughter. I was going down a really bad path. That's a whole different video though. And finding out I was pregnant with her really pulled me out of it. So no, I wouldn't change it for anything. I love my daughter so much, and I'm gonna love this baby so much. Do you want to get married? I do want to get married. I'd get married tomorrow if we could afford it. Really, we're waiting on being able to afford family insurance, because insurance is very important, especially for the kids. So as soon as we can afford insurance, or he gets a job with benefits, or I get a job with benefits that offers a family insurance plan, we'll get married. And when we can afford a wedding. It's really expensive. I've already kind of looked into it. What is the hardest thing about being pregnant? It was different with both of my pregnancies. With my first, the hardest thing was like all the throwing up. I threw up my entire first pregnancy, like morning, noon, and night. Eating made me sick, smelling stuff made me sick, not eating made me sick, everything made me sick. So I threw up. So that was the hardest part of that pregnancy. Now with my second pregnancy, the hardest part is keeping up with my little girl, because she's 16 months old and I can't really move around much, because this baby's really low and it causes me pain and I can't really walk like fast enough because, you know, toddlers are everywhere. But so my first pregnancy, the hardest part was all the sickness, and then this pregnancy, the hardest part is not being able to be mobile and interact with my daughter like I'd like to. How long have you known your boyfriend? This is a good one. I met my boyfriend, his name's Christopher. I met him when I was 10 years old, and he was 12 or 13, I believe, probably 13, because 13. So I was 10 and he was 13. I started to attend the church he's gone to his entire life, and we kind of been friends ever since. So I'm 19 now, so that's 9 years, almost 10 years I've known him. Yeah. And I've been in love with him almost since the day I met him. We dated for the first time back in 2015, but broke up due to a lot of personal reasons. And we've been together now a year and a half, a little over a year and a half, I believe. But he's honestly one of the best things that have ever happened to me. So he's been my best friend too, almost since I met him. So almost 10 years. I'm 19 now, he's 21, so 10 years almost. I'm not good at the math because I can't remember the exact day I met him. What is your favorite thing about yourself? This is a hard one. I'd probably have to say, I don't know, probably my eyes. That's a really cliche answer, but I don't know if y'all are like asking like physically or like with my personality. Physically it would have to be my eyes, but if y'all are asking like personality wise, I don't really know. Everybody says I'm like, I guess how accepting I am, and I hope that doesn't like make me sound like full of myself or anything, but I'm really accepting of people and I try not to judge people. So that's something I really pride myself on and I like about myself. What relative was important to you growing up? That would have to be my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. She's always been there for me. She's always supported me. She's been like one of my biggest support systems. I tell her basically everything, and I always have. She was my therapist before I got an actual therapist. She took me in when I needed a place to live, which again is a whole different story. But she's always been there for me. She helps me with my daughter and everything, and she comes over all the time, so my grandmother definitely, it was very important to me growing up. Like, she helped make me who I am today. There's something metal in this mason jar, and there's not supposed to be anything but paper. Do you live with parents? I do not live with parents. We got our own house in June of 2017. June of 2017. So we live by ourselves in our own house. Though his parents are like 5 minutes one direction and my grandparents are 5 minutes the other direction, but still our own house. How many kids do you want? That's a good one. I don't really know. We don't really plan how many we want. Like, we didn't plan when we wanted our second one. We just kind of both were like, hey, we're ready for a new baby. Let's talk about it. We talked about it, and then we started trying for our second baby. So if he looks at me in like a year or two and goes, I want another kid, I'll probably be all for it. So I know I want to adopt at some point. So at least one more kid. At least one more kid. Be an adopt or give, like, biologically ours, but... What is your biggest accomplishment? This is going to sound the most cheesiest cliche thing ever, but my biggest accomplishment would be the family that I started with my boyfriend. I have always known I wanted to marry him, and I've always known I've wanted to start a family with him, even when he didn't know he wanted those things with me as well. But our little girl and then our second little girl, it just makes life perfect. I mean, the family I started for myself, even though I was young, it's definitely my biggest accomplishment. Like, it is definitely way higher than anything else I'll ever do in my life. How long have you and your boyfriend been together? I kind of answered that one already. Year and a half. So, oops. Didn't want that topic. When do you want to have more kids? I also answered this one. Probably a year or two before I start thinking about having another one. And it'll probably be a while before we can adopt, just because it's so expensive and it's so hard to adopt here in America. So, yeah. If I'm going to have another kid, I want to be done by the time I'm 21. I want to be done birthing babies by the time I'm 21 years old. What's your views on public breastfeeding? This is a good one. I think it should be normalized because it's not a sexual thing and it's not gross. It's natural. A baby's eating, that's all. And you really don't see anything when a baby breastfeeds, honestly. Kids don't look at it sexually. They don't go, oh, look, mom, it's a boobie. No. They think they'll either ask you what the mom is doing or they already know what the mom is doing. It's just a baby eating. Like, I should be able to breastfeed my child in public and not be judged for it because it's not gross, and like I said, it's not gross, it's not sexual or anything. It's just me nourishing my baby. It should be just as common as bottle feeding. Like, I'm a big advocate on normalizing public breastfeeding. Like, it needs to be done. Like, I shouldn't feel shamed and I shouldn't be slut shamed for feeding my baby. That's all I'm doing. I'm literally feeding my baby. I don't want your attention. Like, I don't want your boyfriend's attention. I don't want your husband's attention. I just want my baby to be okay and fed and taken care of. Like, I'm doing my job as a mom. Did you finish high school? I did finish high school. I believe I finished with a 4.89. No, wrong. A 3.89 GPA, I believe. I was homeschooled, and I have been since 3rd grade, so it made it really easy for me to have my daughter in high school and graduate. So I graduated on my boyfriend's 21st birthday. So I graduated May 21st, 2017 with high GPA. So just because I'm a teen mom doesn't mean that I couldn't do it. And that's one reason I scored such a high GPA, is because I wanted to prove people wrong. What is your birthday? My birthday is December 27th, 1999. And before you ask, yes, it sucks being born 2 days after Christmas. I'd get to open my Christmas presents, and then I'd get to open one gift on my birthday. And then my birthday party would be in January. So I'd have to wait to open all my birthday gifts until January. But I don't get birthday parties anymore because I'm an adult. Do you have tattoos? I do have tattoos. I don't know if the camera's going to flip this backwards, but this is my daughter's initials and her birthday. I got them for my 18th birthday. My fiance actually got the same script and everything. He has one matching right there with our daughter's name and initials. And I'll be getting the same one on this wrist when my second daughter's born. And then I have this breastfeeding mermaid, which I got in honor of breastfeeding. Like I said, I'm very much of an advocate for breastfeeding. I enjoyed it very much. It's a great bonding experience. It's natural and it's normal. And then the heart I kind of count as its own tattoo, so I guess I have 3. The heart is a tattoo I got for my boyfriend. I don't want to put his name on my body. I don't want him to put his name on my body just because I think it's tacky personally. But if you don't, that's your own thing. Do you, girl or dude. But it's his birthstone. He was born in May, so it's the emerald birthstone. So I just got it and kind of factored it into my breastfeeding tattoo. And I plan on getting many, many more. Last question. What do you want to do for your career? I know I want to be a doula. And a doula is basically a really educated birthing coach. That's the easiest way I can explain it to people. If you really want to know what it is, look it up, research it. But I want to be a doula. And I want to do something like with YouTube. I've always wanted to be an entertainer, so it'd be nice to be able to doula and be an entertainer. But with being a doula, I can help moms and dads and anybody involved in a birth, like I can help bring a life into this world, and I can help everybody involved feel comfortable during the process. But I don't ever have to touch the baby. Like, I'm scared to death of being liable for what happens to mom and baby, but that wouldn't be my job. My job is to make sure mom and dad, and like I said, anybody else who's there to help her, is coached through birth and that she is comfortable. Like, I would give her natural ways to cope with labor. So that's what I want to do for my career. All right, that's all the questions I have. I'll probably do another one in a couple months. So if you got questions, you can go ahead and just ask them. I'm going to link my TikTok and my Instagram in the description, so you can just ask me questions on there and I'll write them down, and maybe your question will be in the next video.